Hey guys, today we will explore data manager in Qliksense. We will see how to add a data and create a data model using data manager. We have done this using data load editor earlier, so today we'll try it with data manager. Let me create a new empty blank application. Let me call this as data manager demo. So we'll, instead of using data load editor, we'll see how to add a data with the help of data manager. We are already in data manager by default, so let's add some data to it. I already have some excels uploaded, so let me utilize one of them. I'll go with this international apparel data set. Okay, so I'm selecting all the tables and I'm loading it into the application. So now we could see two options over here, associations and tables. Okay, so when I click on table, I could see all the list of tables available, right? So these are all the tables or sheets which I imported from the Excel, or I could see it in association view as well. So each bubble represents a table, and what we see in the right hand side is all the recommendations or the associations. Let's say um, product, right? See, product, we have a field called uh, product id. Okay, so let me enable the preview. So in product I have product id, and what it says is in order details there is a product id. Okay, so it is giving me a suggestion to associate these two tables, right, based on this. So upon validating it I can apply it. Okay, so okay, this is a meaningful association. So when I apply, you could see these two bubbles are associated. Okay, I can click on this uh, link over here and I could see product id is the key between these two tables. Okay, when I click on that I could see this is enabled. Okay, so product id from both product and order detail is used as a linking field between these two table, the product order detail, and I click in the middle, I could see both side by side and the key column. Okay, similarly I can validate all the suggestions one by one. Okay, so let me click on this recommendations. So I could see supplier id, so product supplier id and supplier id. Okay, I'm applying it. So these two are associated now based on supplier id. Okay, and territory, this is something which I don't want in my data model. Okay, I just want to remove it, so I'm going to delete this. You could see a delete option over here, so I simply delete territory from my data model. Okay, and now let's proceed further. So employee id, I could see employee id is present in employee table and order header table. Okay, so let me apply this. So employee and order header are associated based on employee id. Okay, order id in header and details table. Okay, I'm applying it. So order detail and order header are now linked based on order id. Category id is present in product and category. Okay, apply this. So now these two are linked based on category id. And here if you see customer, right, cust id and order, when I click on customer I have customer id, but in a name, it's a different name like cust id, right? But it was somehow able to understand the content, and it was giving me a recommendation to match with this cust id with the customer id from order header. So this customer id with this cust id, by looking into the content it was giving me a correct recommendations. Okay, so I'm just applying it. So now I could see when I click on this link, I could see these two tables are linked based on cust id and customer id. Okay, so you could see it is highlight grade over here, customer id and cust id. So now that we have pretty much covered all the tables, The only table left is office here. Office has got two columns. Okay, the first is nothing but the office ID and the office location, which has to be linked with the employee. So employee has got a column called employee office. Okay, so this is the office ID of this employee, which has to be linked with this ID over here. But if you notice, right, the values are little different. See, you see only one digit over here, 513, whereas here you see some zero suffix, right, after the ID 123. 12345 is what we need. We have to exclude these zeros. So what we can do is, when I click on office, I see few options over here. I can delete, or I can reload, I can edit, right? So I will create a calculated field based on this field. Okay, so I'll just use a function called left. So I'll take the left first character from the left. I'll keep that as a ID column. Okay, I'll add that as a new field. So I'll create a calculated field over here. Let me call it as office ID. Okay, so here I'm going to pick this field. So offices.office. This is the field I'm interested in. I could see a preview already in the bottom. So let me say left of this field, comma one. So what I want is the first character from the left. You could see a preview in the bottom. Okay, so this is what we need, and this is a name. I'm going to create it. So I have created a new calculated field over here, and this field I don't require it. I don't need this anymore. So I'm going to hide this from the analysis. Okay, you see it. Okay, so now I'll come out of this edit mode, and I could see in the office ID and office location. Okay, so now when I go to employee.office, now you could see a new recommendation appear over here, right? So employee office, I mean office from the employee table, and the office ID from the office table, the office ID which we created new just before, right? So it is automatically able to recognize, and it gives me a suggestion. I can simply click on apply, or I can simply drag and drop this to that table. So okay, when I drag and drop, right, automatically an association is going to be formed based on the recommendation, which is these two columns, office and office ID. Okay, so now we have created association among all the tables, right? So 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 our data model is ready now. We'll explore few more options. Like, so we saw how to edit a particular table, how to add a calculated field, how to disable a field, right, or how to create association based on the key columns. We have few more options to do in the data manager. Like, we can do a concatenate or join. Okay, I can click on concatenate or join, and I can select the action which I want to perform, and I can select the table. So now what we will do is, we'll try to join these two tables. So, okay, so I have this employee table. In office table, I just have only two fields: my office ID and my office location. So what I will do is, I will try to do a left join based on office ID. I will try to bring this office location within the employee table itself. Okay, so let me break this association first. Let me delete this. Are you sure you want to? So it asking me, right, whether I want to break this association. Yes. Okay. So now these two tables are separated now. So now what I will do is, I will do a left join from employee table on office table, and I'll bring this office location within employee. Okay. So let me select employees table, and now the action I'm going to perform is, we have options like concatenation on all types of join, right? So I'm going to do a left join. Employee is already selected, and then office. Okay, so now we could see all the columns which are coming from employee and the corresponding mapping. So what it says is, employee office is mapped with office, but ideally it should be office ID. Office ID is the one we created. An employee office should be joined with office ID, right? So I'm going to edit this mapping. Recommendations. There, yeah, we can change, modify the recommendations, right? So this recommendation is not correct. So I'm going to delete this. I'm going to drag this over here. So the join is going to be on employee office from employee and office ID from office table. So these two is the key column on which the left join is going to happen. And this is the one additional column which I am going to bring in from the office table. Okay, so there is a left join between employee and office. This is a new column which you are going to bring into employee table and based on this key field. Okay, so these two are aligned in the same column. So that means it represents the key column. Okay, so once the mapping is done, I will apply this, and you could see a left join is getting applied. Okay, so now I see our employee as a single table. I don't see office table anymore. I see office location within employee table now. So the left join is applied, and this column is added to employees table, right? So this is how we can perform operations like concatenation, join, or we can edit the table or create a calculated field. Any data transformations we can do. I can also add data and bring in few more data sets and add to this data model. Okay. So let me quickly reload this data, and we'll see how it automatically generates a script for this. So what it does is it creates a data load editor section which has got all these details. Okay, all the transformations we did. It also um, creates a few sections on its own like master calendar, geolocations. Okay, so you could see it has come up with its own script, few alias names and the key columns, customer edit, the key columns, geo points, and we could also see employee being left joined with employee sorry yeah the office, right? Yeah, the employee table is left joined with office table based on this field, and then office location is brought in, and we could also see a master calendar being created automatically. So the entire script is auto generated. So anybody from business background who are not into technical, right, a business analyst or any even the end users who doesn't have much technical scripting knowledge, right, they can still use data manager to come up with this data model, right, and then they can start creating visuals on their own. So we could see this data model once. Yeah, so we could see data model is created with minimal or no scripting knowledge, and then they can start analyzing their data in the UI as a self-service model, right? So hope we got some basic understanding about data manager, how to use data manager to add data and create a data model, and how to perform some simple data transformations. Please do let me know in the comment section for any clarification. Thanks for watching.